Hello and welcome to another Draw Along with Dan. I'm Dan Lietha, cartoonist and illustrator. And this is Ape Week. So I'm just sketching up real quick, little guy here, just for my intro. So today is Friday as I'm recording this or broadcasting this. So it's our last ape of the week, and this ape is also referenced by a copyright photo, so I can't show you the photo. I can't trace it ahead of time. But I have to tell you, this one is if my little boy self was here and I would have picked one of the photos that I've seen so far to use for reference, this is the one I would have done. I would have been begging myself, draw that one, draw that one. That one's so cool. So it's a gorilla, and he's got that like angry gorilla look on his face. He's got his mouth open, roaring, and it just maximizes the use of that cool brow on them. So that's my reference. That's what we're going to do today. So I'm hoping to have some fun with this one, and let's sketch this out. This guy has a massive mouth. So I'm just trying to look at it thinking, where am I going to go with this? So I mean, they've got a big head too up on the top there. Let's see. It's got that. And then that nose like pushes up into the eyes almost. It's so close. And then it's like pinched, or it's pushed up to the nose because that mouth is so raw. And I'm gonna have to reduce this in size because I'm getting a little carried away with my. All right, move that down. I guess I could have avoided that if I had drawn like some outside shapes, some basic shapes first, but I'm just getting into this. And then the two front teeth are right here. And the mouth hinges like right there, but it, yeah, I'll try to get some construction going on here. I mean, these two teeth here are almost pointing straight out. And then see the inside of the mouth. He's got his tongue. I wonder if I made the tongue go out a little bit, like, nah. I'll have it more laying at the bottom of the mouth there. Although the reference does show it kind of, I'm like, they're rounded off there. All right. And then I'm going to even have to reduce that a little bit. Okay. Then at that bottom lip and the chin, which I guess animals don't really have chins, but underneath the lip, the continuation of the jaw. It's like a distinct line that goes right up to the ear. And they have these little ears. And then big, thick neck. Like it just kind of turns into their shoulders, I guess. And then the other indicator of the shoulder is right back there. So he's a big brute and he's not happy. So again, this is the the version a little boy would have loved to have drawn. So I know you moms are probably going, "Oh, he's so angry and mad and stuff." Yeah, little boys love that. So this would have been one of those drawings my teachers probably would have went, can you draw something else that we like better? And I mean, yes, it's a mad, angry gorilla, but it's not a lot of other things that think about all the bad things kids these days are looking at and seeing. So yeah, angry gorilla, but it's certainly not other stuff. Those eyes are so cool. I'll give him some more cartoony eyes. This really kind of reminds me of that. I've been talking about King Kong, that animated cartoon back from the, I don't know, 70s, I guess, maybe late 60s, 70s, somewhere in there. And I had the board game to it, and it had this really cool cartoon of King Kong on it, different faces, expressions, and stuff. This has elements of that. It doesn't look like that Kong, but again, the gorilla faces are so cool. I love them. And yeah, dude, you got a big mouth. Now the other fang looks a little canine, I guess I should say. Which is funny because they're not dogs. And then the other teeth, you see you see this uh, bottom row of, yeah, row is what I'm looking for, teeth. And then again, this is pretty sketchy, but and then the mouth gets dark as it goes back in there. I guess I could have. I'm drawing with a transparent brush here, so maybe I can firm up some of the line artwork with 100% opacity here. I don't know if I like that upper lip that I've given it. The reference doesn't show that so much. I thought I'd accentuate it a bit, but it's that really cool. Apes have this distance between their nose and the upper lip, or the beginning of the mouth, and it just looks really apish. So what's making this gorilla mad? Give me some ideas. Put those in the comments below. And then the hair. Kind of goes like that. And got another busy weekend coming up. My to-do list is chock full. All right, I think that let's put the indications for the spacing of the teeth and try to ink that in. And then underneath the tongue is all dark too inside the mouth. So I love it. Gorillas are cool. Remember when we went to the zoo, Cincinnati Zoo, when my daughter was young, our daughter was young, we went by the gorillas and she was spooked by them. She just did not like them for some reason. Okay, let's ink that. So push this back a little bit. Oh, that's pretty good. That was about 10 minutes of drawing, so not too shabby. I've been drawing a little bit this morning, so I am a little bit warmed up. It makes a difference. Let's change our point of view here. There we go. That's a little better. Give the drawing some more real estate. And my inking layer. Inks. And my pen to black. Again, I like starting at the nose a lot. The eyes or the nose, somewhere in there. All right. If I could show you the reference, you'd go, oh yeah, that is really cool. And that other side of that flat nose. Very unhuman-like. Because gorillas are not our relatives. They were created by God, for sure. Just like us. Same creator, but we're not related. All right, and then let's see. I'm going to draw these teeth in first, just to get them in because they're in front of that fang or that canine. I keep calling it a fang, which it kind of is, but I think fangs are a little bit different. Oh, I want that to be a little bit bigger. Okay, those worked out pretty well, I think. And then I'll draw the bottom teeth. There's just so many overlapping pieces and parts here that now those teeth have a little bit of a different shape to them. They're not flat. Well, the top ones are the same, but you see them from a different angle. They're flatter. And then draw the base, and then draw up. And then that one has a little bit of a base there. All right, that works. If you could draw like a line from there to there type of thing, it helps visually, helps you figure it out. And then just put an indication for them in there. Not a lot of needed detail. The tongue. All right. We'll see how much rendering I do on that when the time comes, because the mouth is very dark and dramatic. So I'll get the feel for that put in. And then I don't see so much of that indication on the reference, but I'm going to try that out and see how it works. Kind of the stretching of the mouth at the corner. And then it goes down. Let's see. There's so much good stuff here. I'm not saying because I drew it. I'm just saying the shapes that I've had to work with are so cool. I sometimes you just look at some things and you feel an artistic excitement that wow, that's great. I love that. Oh, I got to do that. Your brain starts firing, just like, oh, cool. The art brain. Draw some indication of shadow on the tongue. All right, maybe some cross hatching a bit there to get it a little darker. All right, the shoulder over here. Is that his shoulder? Yeah, I guess so. Yep. Okay, I'm looking at the reference, kind of making sense out of what's going on there. And then the fur. Now, those of you that have heard me talk before about my artwork, you know that I've hidden things in my artwork. Like places like this right here would be ideal because you can write a name in there if you want to take the time to do that. And it's just a very scribbly spot that is made for potential letters to be in there. I'm not hiding anything today, but and then the forehead. And then the top of the head. I drew that gorilla skull after I'd drawn my first gorilla face for this week. And I said, look up some gorilla skulls. And then I thought, let's just draw one. So I drew one. And they've got that big crest on the back of the head right there. And so that's where that shape comes from, way up on top. And put some indication of some shadow here. and then the inside of the mouth, like I said, it's dark on the bottom under the tongue. There's some gum detail here. And sometimes it's kind of fun to just put a little touch of some shape lines, indication of shape lines on the teeth. Just helps them read more as a solid thing rather than a empty space. And let's see, I could do some more. There are some indications of something going on like that. Again, I love the wrinkles and stuff on gorillas' faces. All right, now, sometimes it's fun. I keep saying I leave the eyes till last, and there's a reason for that. Too many times, you can get caught in the trap of doing all the good stuff first, and then you're left with all the less interesting stuff. So one trick an illustrator can do, artist, cartoonist, whatever, is get all the not as interesting stuff out of the way, and then finish with the cool stuff, because I think it can help give you some momentum. Like, I really want to get to the good stuff, and so the not so interesting stuff has a little more energy to it, because you're like, I gotta get there, gotta get there, gotta get there. And then this eye right here. And again, that eyebrow provides a shadow area underneath it. Put an indication of some shadow on the eyes, even a little bit. I'm going to get rid of that line there. Okay. I don't want it to look like an eyelid, because that's not it's not what it was supposed to be. And then there we go. Ooh, I'm liking it. So there we are with our gorilla. I'm going to do something here that I usually don't do. Hey, this is the last day of the week, and I think I've still got a little bit of time. So let's see how fast I can do this. Again, speed isn't the goal of artwork, but this is the last gorilla, or the last ape, and I'm having fun with it. Got a few minutes before a half hour. So I'm going to color this guy in a little bit. I was going to ink in the fur like I've done in other ones with dark lines and indicate some shadowing, shaping, form type of thing that I thought, ooh, sometimes you can get carried away with that and it kind of ruins things. And I know on the computer you can more easily get away with it because you can hit Command Z on the Mac anyway, and it makes it go away. But then I thought, ooh, coloring this guy would be fun too. So let's give that a try. There we go. So I've just created a shape, a selection behind the inks, and made a shape there. So let's color in his teeth, which I'll just make them white. Well, do a little off-white. There we go. Okay. Coloring is I don't know, maybe not as fun to watch. So I haven't been coloring these draw along with Dan drawings. It takes time, and I want this feature to be faster, something for me to do just on a lunch hour type or lunch break type of thing. I don't want it to take a lot of time, just a half hour or less. So this one might go a little past that, but I'm really enjoying this gorilla. Like I said, the little boy in me is like, yeah, that's the one. So once I break these areas down into shapes of color, then I can render on each one of them. So you guys are going to see a little bit more of that process. Let's see, the gums would be like a lighter pink. And up on top, and on the inside of the mouth down here, kind of a pinkish inside the mouth color. We'll fix that later. All right, now my reference. Let's see. It's actually a CGI gorilla that somebody made. So the coloration on it isn't very good. But I think I get enough of an idea what's going on here. So the face part of the gorilla is lighter than the fur. So the skin that's showing through so with that selection made inside a, let's see, I didn't, okay, I didn't lock my layer. So now I've locked my layer. Now I can make this a little lighter. Not much. But in fact, maybe I'll just start rendering on it to save some time. I want my airbrush. I got my airbrush. So let's see, this is lighter, so I'm picking an air, a light source. So I'm pretending the light source is coming from the upper right. And so I'm imagining what surfaces would be aimed more towards that so that they would be catching more light than the other parts that are facing away. And that helps give you form. Now, this part is lighter anyway than the fur. And actually, I want to make some of the fur darker, so that'll help separate the two. Oops. I didn't want to do that. It's all in the same layer. I usually try to draw things in different colors on different layers so it's easier to separate things. I think that will do that. Now I'm just going to inverse the selection so that I can paint on the outside of it, and it won't let me paint on the inside. And now we can do some rendering on the fur. To start out with, going to just deal with the general shape, and then we can do some fur line work on top of that. Again, I don't usually color and render and paint and stuff when I draw along with Dan because it's something probably most of my audience can't do and such. But I just loved this gorilla so much that I want to have some fun at the end of the week with it. It has been, oh, I colored over one of the teeth. I'll have to just redo that. All right. But having so much fun with it that I thought, well, let's just give it a quick color treatment and finish this off with something I usually don't do, a little extra bonus. And if you're watching live, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to know. Get the shape of this gorilla. Underneath there would be darker. All right. I got some palettes on here that are not okay. So so there I've drawn rendered on there some shading just to kind of give you an idea of the form of the shapes. And so now that I've done that, I could actually I could go the other way too and kind of make some of this lighter where the light's hitting before I draw in some more specific stuff. All right. And that ear needs to be lightened too. But, all right, maybe some light over there on the other side. See, I've drawn lots of cute stuff for the audience members that like cute, so I'm indulging the little boy that likes cool, roaring, angry creatures. All right, so now I've given the general lighting for the fur. Now I'm going to pick another layer. Let's see, move my palette over, and I'm going to draw some fur, light and dark, on top of that. So let's find out how much darker I need to go to have it actually stand out. It's not going to super different, but it'll add. I need a different brush. And we'll knock the opacity on the brush back just a little bit. I'll go about 90-ish%. Now this is on another layer too, so if I don't like what I'm doing, I can make it go away instantly. So again, trying to look at my reference just to see kind of how the fur works on these different areas of the face. But doing the airbrush work gets you the shapes and the forms. Now, and that's good. And you know, some people I guess you could say, well, you could leave it at that, but the fur has a texture to it, so adding that texture on top of the form, those two things going together make it look so much better. And then some of the other darker areas here too. Now you'll notice that I'm doing the same shade of gray, and it stands out more where the airbrush work is lighter, or yeah, and then where it's darker here, you almost don't even see it. So and detail takes time, right? Everybody wants stuff fast, 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 but make it detailed. Just do that fast. Well, only God can speak things into existence. So God is really the only truly fast artist ever. And most people want people to be God in that sense. Do it fast and detailed, and it's effortless, right? So, nope. Although I have to say, there's some artists that I've seen their stuff, and you think, how can they do that amount of detail on a consistent basis? So there are some people that have figured some stuff out, and I think they just spend a ton of time on their stuff anyway. I mean, that's kind of a given, but do they have lives? Do they have families? I don't know. Treat some of this lighter as I transition into the light areas where I don't necessarily want to cover every little centimeter um, with fur detail. It's more of just in the darker areas I'm doing some of that type of thing. And then this outer area is not as important, so we'll do some of that. Now that I've done some of the darker, well, actually, I want to pump that up a little bit. There's an area here that needs some darker because it is darker already. And maybe even some of those areas there. All right, now what I'm going to do is just do a touch of lighter fur. where that maybe the light is hitting and it's giving a sheen, a shine to some of that fur. Let's give it a little extra dimension. We could put like a little rim of light on that ear, although I'm going to lighten that ear a little bit. All right, my layers palette's getting in the way. Go away, layers palette. Photoshop made it so you can open and close it, which is handy. All right. And I'll put some over here too. All right, now I do have that selection saved, so I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I should do with it, and I think I will. Inverse selection again, and then I can knock back the opacity. This artwork here is kind of monochromatic, just because it's all grays. I've got some pink for the gums and such, but it's mostly. All right, the face is where I want to concentrate the detail on, so let's do some interesting things there. Make some of these shapes kind of pop out a little bit. And then the eyes, I want to bring those out. Give all of this some more form. And then there'll be like a rim light over here. Uh-oh. I have to clean that up. I forgot that I'm painting on another layer that's not saved or not locked, so the edge on some of this isn't. I gotta remember not to leave that tooth grayed out. All right, now let's get lighter and bring up another level of detail out. And this last, I won't go any more detail than this, but this last addition of lighting will really help draw your eye in. To the eyes. So that's where I want you to look. The mouth is very interesting too. Lots of detail down there. But So we've gone 45 minutes already. And you can see the just adding the detail takes time. And let's see. There. Make that work. All right, I want to add some darks just a little bit to add some extra detail. Yeah, detail like this is dangerous. You can just keep going and going and going. And that tongue needs to be colored too. All right. Okay, so there's that. Some lights catching the side of the tongue. 100%. Now, before I forget to do that tooth on the other side that got grayed out, bring that back. So there our gorilla is. I believe that's the end result. Although, let me do this. There's a number of different ways I can do this, but I want to give that far side of the gorilla a fade out, and even the bottom of it. So I've created another layer. Oh, needs to be airbrush. Created another layer, and then we're going to soften that edge. Let's kind of make it fade out a little bit. I mean, I could erase it. I could do all kinds of things, but I'm just airbrushing a white layer over the top of it. Now, the bottom part's a little tricky because it goes off the screen. I have to shrink my brush a little bit, I guess. Hard edge. I don't want to clip too much away from his chin. There it went. If there's a way around that. You hit the bottom of the screen and the computer just goes away. There we go. All right, our unhappy gorilla. But we got to sign, I have to sign my name. So finishing touch. And this has been a bonus extra long for along with Dan. And do the right layer. All right. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through, hope this has been entertaining for you. Dan Lietha.com. All right. Well, oh, you know what? I said I was going to lighten the ear and I never did, and it's going to bother me if I don't. So The ear was supposed to kind of, it's part of the flesh, right? So there, that's fine. Okay, with that finishing touch, thank you for watching Draw Along with Dan this week. And next week, we're going to do some fun animals again with a little different twist. And I'm gonna have some good cartoon fun with those. So check it out next week, and I'll see you later. Have a good weekend. Bye.